Well, hello everyone, and welcome to October. Actually, it's October 2nd. October started yesterday, and it is time, Leah, that we transition from September blue to
October caramel.
Caramel. And I think that's just I think it's a fun thing to do. And this is a topic that we're gonna address, I think, in the newsletter this week, to make your own fun. And it doesn't necessarily have to be anything expensive. It can just be a concept that you arbitrarily select for a period of time, or just an idea, something like that. So we're gonna talk about that a little bit more in the newsletter. And how do we sign up for the newsletter?
Go to the website, lindavotter.com, and you can either scroll all the way down to the bottom, or there's a link at the top now that you can click, and it will take you to the page to sign up.
To sign up. And you just give us your email address, and we will give you a newsletter that's filled with just some thoughts I have, as always,
fun things.
Lots of questions we ask, weekly challenges, just a lot of different things. Sometimes it gets a little bit more personal. Sometimes it's a little zanier. Anyhow, we invite you to join along in the fun. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about October caramel or caramel. I don't know which is, I guess that they're both correct pronunciations.
I think so, yeah.
But I like the
It might depend where you grew up, or where
or
how fancy you feel.
Or how fancy you feel. So
how do you guys say it? What's
how do you say it, Stuart? Do you say it caramel or?
I say caramel. Caramel.
Yeah, I guess it just depends.
Caramel, that's what I say.
Yeah, and it might, and to me, I think of maybe the color of caramel, but I'm eating a caramel.
Interesting.
So we could really do a deep dive into these things. Golly, we need to get a life. Okay, so let's talk about some little life luxuries, because you and I worked really hard last week, and so we deserve some little life luxuries. And as always, because I didn't used to do this, but then we would respond to so many people saying, could you please send me the link to that? Could you please send me the link to that? So now we just automatically provide you to the links to our little life luxuries, or to products that I'm getting for the cottage, or just things that make our life easier. So let's start out with my find of the week.
I love these.
My sunnies.
I literally just ordered some for myself this morning.
Yes. So often my little life luxuries are because I see them on someone else, or they're a recommendation. These are in this great kind of fallish green. And what I love about them, they fit perfectly.
They do.
They fit perfectly. They don't slide down on your nose like so many of my other ones do. Now, I got them in the green, and you saw them, and you immediately...
I think I'm doing the brownish shade. Yeah.
Do the brownish shade.
I just broke my favorite pair of sunglasses last week, remember? And so I've been looking.
So you've been looking for...
I've been to Target. I've been to Walgreens looking for perfect sunglasses.
Okay, so
these are just old ones.
Let's see if these might be
face.
perfect for you.
I think they are.
So many of you said that she looks, I know, that she looked like old world Hollywood glam, and I would have to concur. I would have to concur with that. So yes, I have lots of pairs of sunglasses, but in my defense, I also give a lot of my sunglasses away. Like I gave, I don't know how many pairs to my trainer, and
you really do. You just, as you walk out the door.
Walk out the door. Do you need some sunglasses or whatever? And I have both really good quality ones, and then I have some like these that are at a lower price point. So since I've given away and just aged, I don't know, some of them I just grew tired of, I've decided that I can treat myself to some little things, like restocking my sunglass inventory for fall. So these were what, $15?
Yeah, $15.
$15. Fun, different colors.
So many colors, yeah.
And I love them so much in this color. I think I might
have to trade them back and forth.
We'll trade them back and forth. So I'll get a couple colors and you get a color, and we'll just kind of, which we often do.
We do.
We trade stuff back.
We share.
We trade stuff back and forth. So that would be my little luxury number one, is some new fall sunnies. And by the way, they had these listed as both for men and women. So
Stuart wants some.
I've seen dudes in those.
Yeah, and
Stuart, you order a color too, and we'll just
all switch them. We'll switch them around. Okay, now the next thing, this truly is a luxury. I have wanted a cashmere throw for a very, very long time. And it's one of those kinds of things that, you know, I grew up in 10 kids and I have to really think about expenditures like this. But as often happens, my younger sister, Meg, who is very stylish and who knows me very well, she found this and she sent me the link. It is cashmere made in Italy. I know I can't, I'm having a problem. I'm having a problem being luxurious and cool. And she said, you need this. And I think it's kind of a caramel color, don't you?
Yes.
Yes. And it is perfect for October. And I also decided to treat myself to it because I am going to be traveling more and I get so cold on the airplane.
Yes.
And this will be something that is perfect for an airplane. So I also think it's a great gift idea.
I was thinking it'd be so good for like October weddings and
yes.
bridesmaids gifts if they need a throw if you're outside and getting cold or like, yeah. A good gift.
I think it's because it's cozy and it's not itchy.
And it's like nice. You could wear it with a dress or whatever.
Yes, but so I can wear it with like dress down with jeans or whatever, but definitely it would be beautiful over satin or silk or really anything. Be great with black for Halloween.
Yeah.
So we will put a link to both of these products, but I've got a couple of other things that I want to share with you too, because now that most of the hard work has been done in the backyard, now we're putting the layer of Hygge Cozy on it. So these are some of the additional steps and things that we're doing to really cozy up the backyard living room, starting with, yes, I got it yesterday, Leah, my new sideboard table for underneath the great room windows. Why don't we go take a look at it? Well, we have come a long way, baby, to cozy up the backyard. And we made a giant leap yesterday when I got the table that I've had on order to serve as a sideboard to the main dining table for when we entertain out here. Now, I love this table. It's this is not a sponsored post, but this is a Christopher Knight table, the same company that did the furnishings that I have on the social patio in the front. And I love the way it looks. Now, I love the wooden tabletop now. I love the color of it, and I will love it as it ages, and I will not care if this gets beaten up, if it starts graying, if it starts aging, because that's exactly the kind of patina that I want. Now, this will also answer the question for you. A number of you had questions about the casement windows and will you bump your head? Well, if I leaned pretty far forward, I could bump my head. But the beautiful thing about casement windows, just like containers can be moved, casement windows can be opened or closed to a greater degree. So if ever we are going to be using this sideboard and I'm afraid it might be an issue, then all I have to do is close them up a little bit more or open them up if we're not going to be using them. That's the brilliance of casement windows. I love the way it fits into this space. It reminds me, Leah, does it have kind of a Pacific Northwest vibe over here? Kind of a gray, woodsy, I don't know. To me, it kind of does. I love the grays and the natural woods. I can already see it. If God willing, we can dine out here for Thanksgiving. I can already see how beautifully it will be set up as a groaning board with all of our Thanksgiving deliciosos. I think it'll be really beautiful. So I'm still playing with it some, styling it. I have these wonderful wrought iron candlesticks that have so much history to them. I bought them many, many years ago, and I had them at the other house. And then my friend Jenny and Steve down the street, they put in an outdoor pool, and I let them use them for a while. And then when they moved, I got them back, and I think they look perfect back here. Now I'm going to go ahead and blow out these candles. And yes, Leah, I need one of my candle snuffers. Yeah. I need
I didn't
those.
think that was gonna work.
Yeah, well, because I'm a little bit short. But doesn't that just look, I just love the way that looks. I just think that looks really, really, really neat. So it's gonna just be great. I love the way the shed looks over here in its gray. I love the gray tones of the different things here. And I might add, because I've always said it's my theory of garden relativity, as soon as you do one thing, it informs something else. So because sometimes I find myself going from here over to there, and I'll probably frequently have some kind of potted plant on the corner, then I might want to put in a couple of other small flagstone pieces. That I may be doing that throughout the backyard. That kind of remains to be seen, but that's no biggie. So I am loving how this looks. We will put a link below. I think, Leah, was it on sale?
I didn't see.
I'm not sure. It seems.
Right. Oh yeah, it is 15% off.
Okay, it's on sale. So again, this is not a sponsored post. This is just the one I got, but if something goes on sale, I want to share it with you guys. So I think it looks really wonderful. I questioned whether or not I should paint it, and I thought absolutely not. I like the contrast of it. I will love it even more when it begins to weather and gray a little bit, and I think it's perfect for back here. Now, will I like it better once my windows are painted gray? Yes, I will. But I just have to be patient about some things. So there you go. There is my new sideboard, and I want to give you an update now on the glass-topped dining table in the backyard living room. Well, another fun thing, I guess, that costs no money, but that Leah and I have been doing is we've been putting together these lists. They're just a list of things to be considering, to be doing, to be thinking about, to be enjoying for each individual month. So we put one together for September. We've put one together for October. Have we already sent it out in a
We posted it on Instagram, and it'll be in the newsletter this week.
Okay, and it will be in the newsletter.
They're always in the newsletter first, so that's the best way to see them.
Okay, yes, and you get the whole thing, and you can print it out. You can do whatever you want to with it. But we just think about things that are inspired by the month of October or that we're going to try in October. And I think the first thing on the list, and a number of you have commented on it, is, okay, try wearing your hair in a different way. Yes. So a lot of you complain because my bangs are often in my eyes. And so I'm trying to wear my hair off of my head. Now my hair doesn't naturally want to go that way. So
we've been working on it.
We've been training it. It's been in training. Bangs in training.
Bangs always in training.
Always in training. Will I still wear my bangs? Yes. But I am just, I don't know, it's got kind of a more sophisticated.
It does.
Kind of a more sophisticated vibe. I think it enhances my cheekbones. Yes. Or I like to think that anyway. So try that. You may like it, you may not, but it doesn't cost anything. And it's just a fun way to kind of reinvent yourself for fall. Now, speaking of reinvention, when we adopted Leah on the channel, I don't know how many months ago that was.
May
maybe.
Yeah.
If some of you are just now catching up, and she's not in every video, but Leah is our creative coordinator, and she keeps me on the straight and narrow, and she keeps me from being disorganized, and she helps me execute ideas in a stylish way. Would that be your job description?
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah, and yes, a lot of you think that she's my daughter and looks like my daughter, and she can be my daughter or my surrogate daughter-in-law since mine aren't here. So it's kind of fun. We have similar backgrounds.
We really do, yes.
It's spooky almost.
Yep.
Similar backgrounds.
Very similar.
Yes, in career tracks and just a number of different things. So it's been really, really fun, and we have similar tastes in a lot of things. And it's kind of weird because sometimes she'll show up and we'll have kind of the same clothes. Yeah, we'll have the same clothing on her way, and then I'll wear it my way.
Yep.
So anyhow, for those of you who commented in the last video, who is Leah? Well, Leah is the creative coordinator for the team, and she keeps Stuart and I organized.
We try
And
to. We try to
we,
around
we
here.
try. I know it's not always easy, and in a very stylish way. So one thing she also helps me keep track of, and we're going to try to be better about this, is ideas that you share with me, comments that you share with me that I then want to, by extension, share with you. And this one is a huge thank you to you followers out there for giving me great ideas. Okay, so a number of you, I was talking about, in fact, Leah, you want to grab one of them over there? These little solar operated tea lights. And I was saying that they're a little bit larger than your average votive candle or tea light. And sometimes it can be hard to find a vessel that they go in that doesn't look plastic and tacky. You guys had some great ideas. I didn't want to take the time to spray paint them black. And I was also concerned that, I don't know, I might disrupt its capability to absorb light. So I didn't want to do that. And you gave me different ideas, all of which I'll probably use over a period of time. But this one right now is my favorite one. I have lots of little terracotta pots. And so we just put some in terracotta pots, and then I tucked in a little bit of moss around it that camouflages the white. This one I haven't tucked all the way down in there so you could see that. But then they just kind of blend in with the rest of all of my terracotta, not only in the plant theaters, but also in the terracotta stand that we put up on the table.
So cute. So
cute. And it's so fun to look out here. Sometimes I just wait at night waiting for them to magically come on because I don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
So many of you guys have jumped on the bandwagon and you ordered some of these. I'm going to be ordering a whole lot more as we cozy up and hygge up the backyard. But I just wanted to thank you for giving me that tip of putting them in little terracotta pots. I think that was great. The second tip that you gave me, and something that is being executed this week, is the idea to try painting my dining table top, glass top, because it always looks like this. Okay, and this drives me crazy. There's a lot of glare coming off of it, Stuart, right now, for one thing, but it gets messy, it gets stains. It's, oh yeah, it's scratched. It's, what else do we not like about it? I don't like the fact that I just have to clean it so often. And I just don't like the way it looks. I like the glossiness of it, but I don't like the fact that it shows every blemish. I mean, absolutely every blemish on it. And so I discussed this with my friend Manuel, and right here, Stuart, is where we can put in that little video of me talking with him about it and asking him. Manuel is somebody that worked for my husband for years as an office furniture installer. I don't think there's anything he can't do. And he's a family friend. And I asked him, would it be possible to paint this? And he said, sure, that there's a special treatment for it. And he's going to take this back to his home, and he is going to paint this with a sprayer. And what we're going to do, thanks to your idea, you guys, is we're going to paint the top, because it's the top that is scratched and blemished and dirty. And he will paint the top after he cleans it really well, probably sands it a little bit so that it will, I don't know, grip the paint a little bit more. And then we'll flip it over. And we're doing it in,
I just looked it up.
Oh my gosh.
Do you remember what it's called?
Zen Retreat.
Love.
That's the paint color.
Okay, here's
the paint color.
It's the paint color. So here's another question.
Paint color.
Here's another question of the day. Are you often influenced by your paint selection by what it's called?
Yes.
And I thought, oh my gosh, if at the end of all of our cozying up, this isn't a good Zen retreat for us, then we have not done our job. So the fact that it was called Zen Retreat, which is kind of a deep smoky gray, I think it will be brilliant. So then I had another aha moment that if I was going to paint this glass for all of the aforementioned reasons, I should also paint the glass on this round table over here that I got, I think at Pottery Barn a gazillion years ago. It's pretty, you know, it's pretty beaten up, and you can see that its glass too is really beaten up, scratched, and blemished. But I have used this for so many different things. I have styled it with I had a dinner party once and I styled it all just with a mountain of pumpkins, kind of a tower of pumpkins. I have used it for just a dessert buffet where it was just filled with all sorts of delicious confections after a dinner party. I anticipate out here, I will use it mostly for hors d'oeuvres and things, but I can also do that thing. I thought of this the other day that you sometimes see at museums or botanical gardens. They'll have a large scale of this, and they'll have this like almost a Christmas tree filled with poinsettias, where the display is filled with poinsettias or something. Oh yeah, so that it is solid. So cute. Yes, wouldn't that be fun? I think it would be fun to do with fern in the spring. So I've got many, many ambitious plans for this. Leah, I like I said, I got this at Pottery Barn many years ago. Let's see if we can find something that might be a counterpart to it. And the other thing that I like about it is this is mobile. So I can move this around to any place on the outdoor patio from one location to another and adorn it in any way we see fit. Painted in what color?
What is it?
Zen Retreat.
I forgot this time.
Zen Retreat. I forgot it before, and now I've got it engraved in my memory banks. The table has
a lot of life left to live.
It has a lot of life left to live. And I could paint this, but maybe I don't want to because maybe I like the patina of it. So I think this is a great table. I love to not only reuse, recycle, repurpose pre-loved things that belong to other people, hence why we thrift, but also my own things that have kind of sometimes been stashed in a dirty garage or someplace, and I pull them back out again selectively to reuse them if I haven't already purged it. So those are two ideas that I stole from you. I didn't steal them. You gave them to me willingly. You gave them to me willingly, and I so appreciate it. And if you were one of those who did, please respond in the comments below because it was a great idea. Sometimes I just don't think of those ideas, but when somebody gives me, you know, that little light bulb, Stuart, we need to put the little light bulb. Great ideas my followers have shared. So thank you so much. How about we take a break here, Stuart? Well, part of my methodology is that we're really trying to get everything in place for this weekend. Leah is so excited because this weekend we are going to make some honey-infused hot toddies. We hopefully by then will have my new fire pit out here, and I'm not going to reveal what kind I decided to get just yet. We will show that to you later in the week. If you want to get a glimpse, we'll put the link below in the description box to the one that I bought. Hubs approved. Sneak peek, and we're gonna hopefully it'll be cool enough by then. I think the cool front's coming through this week finally. And we're gonna sit out here, we're gonna drink hot toddies, and we're gonna be comfy cozy. Compliments of I can be cozy with my new cashmere wrap, but also comfy cozy because look at these great Sunbrella pillows. It took me a long time to decide what fabric, what pattern I wanted for these back four chairs, and I decided on this one. Leah, do you approve? Yeah, I think they're absolutely gorgeous. And unlike the front, which has much more of maybe a feminine, traditionally English color palette in pinks and whites and blues and lavenders and pale yellows. Back here, it's going to be much richer in tone. It's going to be more jewel tones, and those jewel tones are going to be in garnet. And what other jewels am I thinking of that are kind of in these beautiful hues? But I think it'll be in ruby tone, rubies is, yes. It'll be really beautiful back here. So I got one. I was conservative at first, and I just ordered one to see if I liked the fabric, and I not only liked it, I loved it. So I've ordered 3 more of these, and these will then make these chairs that much more comfortable and cozy when we sit back here. But it will also, I think, inject a real dose of color, a pop of color.
You can see it in the frame right now because it's green all the way around you.
And yeah, and does it just kind of pop out? And and it will pop out about the same time that I think some of the color in the mums will pop out. So I'm hoping it'll be beautiful, and maybe we can kind of choreograph it so that by this weekend it all looks beautiful. Now, something else that we've done, Stuart, to cozy up this space that we finally got around to, is if you will turn around and look up into those cedar trees, you can see that we have hung some string lights. These are solar powered string lights. I think these were 50 feet in length, and we've secured it to the corner of the cottage. You can see the solar panel over there in the distance. And hopefully by this weekend, when you see them next, they will be charged. I think there's a button on there that we need to press. And I'm still kind of cogitating about how I want them to look on the other side. I think I may do less of a swag and more just of an outline of the fence. I'm kind of thinking about that. But hopefully those 2 will be in place for this weekend. So if you don't already have plans for, I don't know if this will be Saturday or Sunday, we're not really sure right now. We'll try to shoot it on Friday. But if you don't have plans, other plans, please plan to hang out with us and join in, and we will put the recipe to the hot toddy. Leah, can we maybe get it in the newsletter? We'll try to get it in the newsletter this week so you too can make it and we can all imbibe together. Okay, let's take a break here because there's one more thing I have on order that I want to share with you, which I think will just put the perfect stamp on the coziness quotient of the backyard. Well, I have just kind of gone nuts since this table arrived, thinking of all of the different ways that I can use not only the table, but I can use this space, this little garden room that we have created out of the nook and the inset of the stairwell, and also kind of this little garden room that has a wall on the other side that is the shed. So there are so many different ways that we'll be using this, and I really was amazed at the price point on this table. I just really was surprised and very, very pleased because, Stuart, we moved it and it feels pretty formidable, doesn't it?
It's sturdy.
Yeah, it's a sturdy table. So here are the different ways that I anticipate using this as I entertain and as I work. So number one, I'm going to have to do it or Leah is going to get mad. She is just so crazed to do some entertaining out here. So I anticipate that in the future, like the other night, if you watched it, you may have seen a snippet where we had martinis before a bunch of us, a group of friends, went downtown to the Skirvin for an elegant night out, and we had it everything set up for a martini bar. What did you call it? Make and shake? Make your own, shake your own martini. But this will also be a great place if I have a cocktail party and I actually want to employ the services of a bartender or just recruit someone to be a bartender, that right here, they can make the drinks back here. Now, I'm going to be hosting, I've got a couple of friends that are going to be having baby showers or having babies, so I anticipate some baby baby showers and some wedding showers in the future. And wouldn't it be great to have somebody here who could be making whatever beverage there was? Or if there's not someone here making it, we could have the entire spread out on the table. Now, one thing Stuart pointed out, another reason we love this so much is this is always in shade. For the most part, this is always in shade. So the light is even, so food that we put on the table will not burn up or rot or decay quite as quickly, melt quite as quickly, and that will also be helpful, the fact that this is in shade. Now, some other thing that I'm thinking about in terms of cozying it up, and I try to think of everything in advance as kind of a story, maybe as, you know, I did set design for a while. I did display design for a shop. And of course, I do styling design for a lot of different things. But as I was playing out the story of how would it unfold on a cool October or cool evening in the fall or in the winter, what do you want? And some of these ideas I actually took from a dinner that we went to. It was in Colorado, and we took one of the lifts, the ski lifts up to the restaurant. And then we dined at the restaurant, and then we came down in the ski lift. And in the ski lift, and even at the restaurant, they had a whole stack of beautiful blankets, which is kind of another obsession of mine. Now, I love plaid blankets. I have collected them from everywhere, from thrift stores. They have been gifted to me. This one belonged to my husband even before we got married. It has been in many, many photo shoots, including one. Yeah. Do you recognize this from the photo shoot? Some of my favorites are ones that we brought back from Scotland, Scottish rugs that we brought back, and I'm going to be going to Scotland in June of next year. I cannot wait to tell you guys about it because you might be wanting to come along with me. That's something that we're going to announce on Linda Vodder Live on October 8th. We will be notifying you about that. Leah, we need to put a little reminder in the newsletter. I'll be giving you all the deets on that. I'm pretty excited. And we'll be doing some giveaways. But some of my most prized ones, and these are, gosh, I bet these are 25 to 30 years old, are from Scotland. So I love these. And while they would work out here, and they look beautiful out here, and their color palette is great, these are precious to me. And I really don't want these to be out in the elements. I don't want them to be, you know, to fall into the flower beds or whatever. So these are my indoor blankies. I am starting to compile, something blue over there, Stuart. I'm starting to compile an inventory of outdoor blankets. These will be washable wool blankets in my color palette that will be both good at any time of year, in the fall, in the winter, in, well, just any time of year. So in a more subdued color palette, as the colors out here are a little bit more subdued. And these will be washable. And I found some that were all of like $30. Some of them, depending on the color you got, were as low as like $25. And we'll put the links below. Those have not yet arrived yet, but I am hoping that they will be here in time for the cozy setup that we are doing on Friday. I do have another question of the day for you, Stuart. And that is, if we have hot toddies, it just seems criminal that if we have a new fire pit that we don't make some kind of s'mores. But I don't want to just make some classic s'mores. We could do that. But if you guys have a more sophisticated, modern take on s'mores, that would be fun. And if you've got one that in any way injects the element of caramel into it, melted caramels or something, then I would love to hear those ideas. So definitely we will put links to the blankets that I've selected for out here. They're going to be in more just neutral tones, I think, because my precious ones are going to be living inside. By the way, this is another item that I always have on my permanent thrifting list and also my permanent eBay list, and that is beautiful plaid rugs. I like the way they look, mismatched plaids, all of them look together, and I consider them a really indispensable part of my cold weather cottage decor. So most of these live in the great room right now. So that is something else that we are waiting on to cozy up the backyard for fall. Okay, this is something I have been waiting to do, though I haven't been in a huge rush because it's still been so warm. But I am switching out my September blues, and I am now bringing in my other accessories that are in my caramel color and a little more autumnal in tone. So this rug that I got on eBay, you guys have asked about it, had more of a summery hot weather vibe. And now this one is going to be vacuumed, taken up, and I'll be putting out my fall rug. So I've been waiting for October 1st to be able to do this. Where did I have this stored? I had it stored rolled up underneath my bed. And now I've pulled it out and I'm going to replace this. And I may or may not start replacing some of the throws here with ones that are in a little bit different tone. And that's kind of what I'm going to be doing. The kitchen, the cottage in general, has been kind of chaotic lately because I've been doing so many different projects, and that drives me crazy that the counters aren't always clear and things. But I'll get a little respite from that this week, and I'll be able to catch up. But that's another thing that you might want to consider now that the calendar has turn over some of the accessories in your house. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me as we try to cozy up the backyard. I think it's going to be so fun when it's all complete, and I look forward to just sitting back there and relaxing instead of working back there. And speaking of working, it's going to be a working Wednesday walkabout, I believe. So I will meet you back in the garden on Wednesday. As always, if anybody needs some loving thoughts sent their way, a prayer to anybody who is hurting or who may be suffering right now, we want to keep them in our thoughts and prayers. So there you go. You guys enjoy your Monday and enjoy your week.